Hey you, I need your shotgun, your banana peel, and your googly eyes.
T-Man978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man978. If you've been watching my channel long enough, y'all know that I am an articulation nut. This company right here is known for excellent articulation and seamless bodies that look super duper realistic. So yeah, that's like pretty much a dream come true. The only thing that's ever been having me on the fence is this is pretty much like a do-it-yourself type of deal, and their bigger size ones are not really based on any specific character line or property. They do have some rare licenses and whatnot, but things that not everybody would be interested in. So basically you'll just have like a naked dude that's anatomically correct, and it's like, okay, you get that and you look like some type of weirdo. But this figure is not anatomically correct. Everything is anatomically correct about it except having genitals. It doesn't have those. So that makes it a little tiny taste less weird. So you can see, opening it up, this is what you're working with. What's in here? I don't know what this is. Oh, this is his boxer briefs. And the face is there. The sets of hands are there. Feet already are attached. And this is the more muscular body. It looks like it already has powder on it. If not, I'm gonna go wash my hands. Like, if this is anything like the Athena that I got, any dirt or particles on your hand will stick to the freaking body. I don't know if I should just wash it beforehand. I'll decide. Worry about it later. If you are worried, they do have instructions underneath of everything. I'm gonna be really hard on this guy. I watched a few videos and they didn't really show off the flexibility of these things. I'm pretty sure it's way more flexible than what was being shown to me in the reviews. Alright, here's this dude out of packaging. He is very freaking cool. Very freaking realistic. And yeah, you're thinking, why should I buy one of these? Reason number one, the reason why I got it, is an action figure with a super duper realistic body that doesn't have any joints and whatnot showing. That's something I only dreamed about as a kid. Now, he's not dressed and he doesn't have any like real equipment or real accessories besides extra hands with him. So I've been looking, and I've been knowing this thing exists and been looking at it forever. But what pushed me over the edge was Terminator being force-fed to me recently because of the movie and the fact that he's been in the Mortal Kombat games and whatnot. And I was thinking, you know what? With this big body, I could recreate so many Terminator-style poses, and I could pretend that he's like the next evolution of this dude right here that I've been having fun with all year. Alright, sorry for the background noise, but I'm gonna cut a ton of footage because this went on way too long with me explaining why you should get this thing. I know there won't be, but if there's a huge demand to see the extra footage, I might make it available some type of way. Most of the stuff I'm about to say is nitpicky. But the way I didn't know the wrist and the ankles would work like they work. It's a single metal rod right here. On my bigger TBLeague figure, the 1/6 scale one, my Athena, I have a review for that. I'll link that at the end of this video. She has a universal style joint right there on the end right here. So the wrist can go up and down and do like a Mezco could do. But because that's just a little ball, the only articulation you get on the wrist is whatever play you can get out of that ball joint. Same thing with the ankles. Now, when they start making shoes and boots for this guy, I imagine you'll get more range out of that because you can hide some of this craziness right here. But as it stands now, you don't get a lot of range out of the wrist or the ankles. I mean, the foot can go down, can go up a little bit, and you get a decent amount of ankle pivot, but it breaks up right there. I guess if you had some type of socks or wristbands or whatnot, you can cover the few breakages he has. Only thing you can't cover is the neck breakage. The face looks like a cross between Chris Evans and Sylvester Stallone. It's really thin. Depending on how you have it, he barely has a chin. Like, you don't want to break up the sculpt too much. Mentally, you won't be wanting to do that. So the chin seems really small, but the face does look more realistic or more like a person than a typical Marvel Legends. It's on the lines of something like this, where it has the glossy eyes, so it looks more realistic. But let's get to the main killer thing. It doesn't have bicep swivel. All the swivel in this arm is dependent on the swivel right here, this butterfly joint up there. So you can bring it in, but not too much, and you can bring it out, but not too much. Doing this is cool, and you can rotate the arm across the chest right here. You can rotate the arm across the chest right here, which is cool, but you have to like lift the arm up to do that. So getting him to do anything involved from about here down, as far as getting his arm in front of him, is difficult. You can, like, if you want him to do something like grab his side because it's hurting or something, I suppose you're going for, you can push the elbow back and squeeze it in, but you can't do anything like have this arm come across so he can be holding it with both hands at the same time. And that really sucks. I can't believe they took that piece of articulation out. But let's try to get this articulation out of the way. The head is on a ball joint, so it can tilt and stuff on that ball joint. The neck is also on a secondary joint, so it can do this, that. It can rock forward, rock back. You can look up a lot. The shoulders are on like 2 types of hinges or whatever, so it can go up, can come down, it can go back, go this way. It does bend at the elbow. They show you to not bring the hand all the way up to the shoulder, because you can rip it. In fact, every time you bend this, you can feel the joint pointing right there. I would not force my hand right there. Get the arm twisted how you want it, bend it, but don't put any pressure right there, because I could see that breaking through. I talked about the wrist. There is a joint in the body. It feels like it's just a stick figure skeleton under there. It can rotate. They tell you not to, of course, do more than one freaking 80 on the thing. Just bend them as much as a human would actually bend. But it can tilt a lot, come down a lot, go back a lot. I didn't show off his backside, but he has muscular butt cheeks. The legs can go out to the side that much. They can come back. Let's see. Actually, they can go back a lot, to be honest. And I don't know if I just dislodged something. I think it's like 2 joints up in that hip, one for dropping down and one for going forward. But the leg can kick up a lot. Like, depending on the pose you want him in, like yoga wise or whatever, you can kick the leg up a lot. But here's how it goes before the skin forces it to come down. You can bend the knee that much. They tell you to don't bring that back all the way, because you probably rip through this. And unlike the missing bicep swivel, he does have this thigh rotation in there. And this is one thing that can get on your nerves. Like, the skin is basically a sleeve over the metal. So sometimes the calf can get displaced and whatnot. But since this thing has a super poseable skeleton and the skin gets out of the way, you should have no trouble getting him into any type of pose like this. And the arms up here at the shoulder where I was showing it off do crunch in, so you can still get the arms across the body like this for like a Wolverine pose if you wanted to use this body for Wolverine, or if you wanted to use this body for Black Panther or whatnot. I can see that the hands are discolored from the skin. That's only in these lights and on this camera, just like the feet. In person, that's pretty much one color. Besides these hands, open palm hands right here, they do have like fingernails sculpted in there, so that's cool. They're in such a way that you can put them under a character's neck for grasping and whatnot. Then he has these hands right here. For the Mezco, these would be like sword holding hands, or knife holding hands, I mean. So there's a tight grip, but because they're so pliable and whatnot, you can get him to wield other type stuff. With those graspy hands, he has no problem wielding stuff like this right here. These are Marvel Legends Hercules weapons, and you can see the wrist pegs aren't that loose, but they aren't loose at all. But if they were, you could put like floor polish on there. So you can wield that, look natural. Oh yeah, there's a fifth reason to get this guy. Stop motion. You should have all the luck in the world being able to get him to do whatever for stop motion, because these joints are decently tight. The only thing that gives me some issue are these ankles, because the feet don't have like any type of toe joint, and they're flat, but they aren't, they're shaped like feet. If they were boots or sneakers or something, he probably would have more stability. Lastly, he comes with two of these trigger finger hands right here. Any 1/12 scale like weapons, like for Marvel Legends or Mezco, should be able to fit into these hands. And depending on what hand you want, like I have these open palm hands, you can bring them across, or you can use his little graspy hand, or maybe his other trigger finger hand. But yeah, now let me show you before I completely close things out. His neck peg is smaller than a Marvel Legends neck peg, let me say that, but too big for Mezco. I mean, no, it's too small for certain Mezco and too big for the SH figure arts that I have. Like I have the Rock right here, and here's something. Since he's pretty much half naked, he needs boots, but you could definitely like fit him in with some wrestling figures or whatever. But I couldn't get that head to be on this body. And this is one reason why you would want to use this body instead of something like this, because this is an almost new guy, so there's no getting around the joint breakage and whatnot. So yeah, that sucks. But what I was about to show is he has this styrofoam in the packaging. What I was doing was, if you have a character who has like a tan or whatnot, this is my generic Black Panther face right here that I was using for my Spider-Man to be me, because it's just a generic brown guy. You can customize, or if y'all are a customizer, you should know all the different tricks. The skin tone, his face is a little bit darker, but you can figure it out. And I got these glasses from the Rabbit Raider Fortnite. Jazz wears Fortnite. They don't stay on that well, but yeah. All right, let me bring in some other characters while I'm doing my final thoughts. This thing is cool. The only main real thing that super disappointed me, come on you, was the lack of the bicep rotation. And look how bright he is. But yeah, it's a decent height. I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be taller. Now, he is not wearing boots. If he was wearing boots, he would probably be as tall as Killmonger right here. So there's that. But yeah, slightly more than 6 inches tall, because these Jazzware Fortnite figures are 6 inches tall. And one of the main things I really brought him to go with was this guy, so they can be like enemies or something like that. Maybe even team up. Like he's the next step in the evolution. And here's another guy that's pretty much naked in trunks, and he's on shelves for a while. Mr. Namor right here. But you see all that like articulation breakup. Like they even gave him, they went the extra mile and gave him thigh swivel. I mean, his shin splits. But yeah, he's a little bit broader and wider than that dude. But yeah, I might keep this head on. I don't know. The Captain America Sylvester Stallone face or whatever. That one's cool. It's not too terrible. But yeah, I can't really complain about too much besides the things that I did complain about. The way the articulation works in the ankles and wrists, and the lack of bicep rotation. Other than that, I really, really enjoy this figure, and I have to recommend it. If you want it, I'm going to have a link in the description. It's relatively inexpensive. One thing I will say before I finally close off. After playing with this guy, it's cool to see the seamless muscles and whatnot, and see how everything works and moves around each other, and it's like, wow, this is a real little person. The novelty of that wore off after a couple of hours, and it's like, yeah, I want clothes for him now. The fact that he doesn't have clothes kind of sucks, but I knew that going in. So now I'm gonna have to spend extra money trying to find clothes, and looking up online. AliExpress is one place that has like some shorts and tank tops and whatnot, but trying to find clothes for this dude is difficult. And some of the clothes there I've seen are horrible. Like big baggy plaid shirts and whatnot, and nobody has shoes. So I'm hoping Fison, freaking TBLeague, hurry up and come up with some new feet. I do see that they are coming out with some actual characters that have full-on armor or outfits, but yeah, they need to put out some options themselves personally that will definitely fit these ankles, as far as sneakers and boots and whatnot, because it will be cool to get those like hooping shorts and a tank top, but to actually have shoes would be nice as well. But anyway, I like it. It's cool. Thank you for watching this. Until next time, TBLeague978 out of here.
Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos.